Hey guys, welcome to the Big Talk with Austin, your monthly movie news podcast. Sometimes video game news, like we're gonna get into a couple of video game stuff here. They kind of relate to, at least the first video game news can relate to movie stuff. Video game is just it's in a interesting state right now, so it's a kind of important thing to talk about in the pop culture realm of things. We got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. We did do an exclusive episode on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and there's of course it goes to other platforms that are podcasts only. With Shaun O'Rourke, where we talked about everything with CinemaCon. It's like 3.5 hours long, so make sure to go check it out. I'll leave a link in the to the Spotify version in the description, but we will also be showing some form of clips of it in this episode later on too. And I'll let you know before we cut to it when we do that. It's just, two clips I think that are important to have part of this monthly talk about some of it. And hopefully I encourage you guys to go check out the full episode and make sure to go subscribe to Shaun O'Rourke and leave a comment on his very recent video saying happy birthday. Tell him that I sent him to you guys to say that because he just turned 50. Now we're putting that out there in the world for everyone to know. It's very important for information that he's getting old. I don't know if you appreciate me saying that, but
We just gotta we just gotta edit that one out, Austin. But no, happy birthday to him.
yeah.
I hope it was a wonderful day with him and his family. So
But now with that being said, we got a lot of interesting things to get into. Hopefully this podcast can save my day because I went and saw two mediocre films. And next, I went and saw Revenge of the Sith, so that kind of helped.
oh,
But
what a great we should just watch Revenge of the Sith and then
just
just call this
just
episode
instead,
over.
yeah, you guys should go check out my commentary where we watched all 11 movies in one video, and we commentate over it. It's on the channel with that I did with Cliff like last year. But yeah, Revenge of the Sith was like the best movie I've seen all day. But that's a movie that came out 20 years ago, so
Crazy.
it's not
I
something that
remember
really counts. But
I remember waiting in line to see that movie. Um, I went and saw it.
I never saw it on the big screen until tonight, and so.
AMC Victoria Gardens in 2005.
Was AMC better back then, or was it still crap?
I I like AMC. I'm an AMC diehard. Ooh, I did not get paid to say that.
Mm.
So
We are not. I would never be sponsored by AMC with the amount of garbage talk that I say about them. I even go into AMC and talk crap to their employees, saying how bad their theater is. No, I don't do that.
that's terrible. Don't do that. And we'll talk
Well, you know
about
what?
things not to
You know what?
do
You
in my
want
review.
here, if you want to destroy a theater, go watch the Minecraft movie. Throw a bunch of popcorn at an AMC theater. Don't do that at any other theater. Just AMC.
That's that's so sad. Don't do
Hey,
that
no,
at
it's
any
not
theater.
sad because no one works there anyways. It's all computers, so it's fine.
It's all computers. They're
So
all Elon robots or
yeah,
but
but,
uh, I'm
but
excited.
yeah, we got a couple of things to get to. So, starting off with A Quiet Place Day One, which is a movie I actually liked. I know a lot of people enjoyed that one. I really like that one a lot. But you have the Quiet Place Day One director, Helmer Michael. I don't know how to say his last name. Is that like a Russian last name, I think?
Sarnoski, I believe is how you say it.
Okay. He is to direct the Death Stranding movie video game adaptation for A24. I didn't know it was A24 that was adapting that, but apparently it is, which is interesting.
I thought that was interesting too. So when I was doing some more research, folks,
Is it a
um,
PlayStation production though? Because it is a PlayStation exclusive game.
so that's what I was confused about. So things that you want to keep in mind of films that they have produced, which I think are really important to kind of keep in mind. So some of the films that we would be considered or that people would recognize, because when we talk about film studios or when we talk about those types of things, I think it's really interesting to keep in mind just how well they do. So they have a few coming soon, which is cool. But The Legend of Ochi, Warfare, Death of a Unicorn, Opus, The Brutalist, Baby Girl. Let's see, other ones that people would see. Civil War in
Death of
2024.
Death of Unicorn, Warfare.
Correct. The Iron Claw, Priscilla.
I really enjoyed Iron Claw. That's a good
I know
movie.
you. That's why do you think I brought it up?
Uh,
Pi. When you finish saving the world, the Whale,
oh,
2022.
The Whale is such a good one too.
I don't know if that was sarcasm or you being serious.
No, no, I like that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, A24 has a lot of really, really good films. So the fact that they're in charge of this makes me feel
This
like
is probably
they picked a solid director and they
mhm.
put it in good hands of a good studio.
This is probably going
So
to be their biggest project that they've done
I'm
yet.
excited.
Because Civil War was probably the biggest project. I think this will probably top it.
You're frozen.
Am I frozen?
You froze. Are
Am I
you
good
alive
now?
now?
I'm oh, okay. Am I good now?
Yeah, you are. I can hear you.
Okay.
So yeah,
Um,
I'm excited. I think it's in good hands. It came out in November of 2019. Crazy because that was pre-COVID.
yeah.
So
I'm very curious to see how they handle it because this would probably be their biggest project that they have ever done. I think not Warfare, but I think Civil War was the biggest project that A24 has done. With I think it had 100 million of a budget. This would probably be in the same range. Now, I never finished Death Stranding. I couldn't really get into it, only playing an hour in. It's just a little too slow. I get that it picks up later on in the game, and I do want to go back and play it for the sequel too. Um, but it is a very slow starting up game. I'm curious to see what they do with it. I know that Norman Reedus is also coming back to play the character in the movie too.
yes, I did see that, and Mads Mikkelsen will be in it too.
Hmm.
Um, and Guillermo del Toro. I mean, it,
Yeah.
all star cast.
Besides Norman
The one
Reedus,
thing,
I like Norman Reedus, but he's not really that great in an actor. If you really think about it, he's not.
it,
He's not up there to like Mad Mikkelsen.
he's good at those cataclysmic event type movies, though. Like end of the world stuff is totally his realm.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'm kind of excited.
yeah. And I'm hoping that this gets him out of the Walking Dead stuff because honestly, it's time for that universe to stop. It's really ridiculous. I enjoy The Walking Dead, and
I
I am having the commentary series get restart back up, of course. But it's like I do
I
like
will
to
not
see.
be on that one.
Yeah, but I do like to see things in, and not.
Yeah,
I don't mean in terribly, but I do. It's time to move on, and I think
yeah.
AMC is just like we don't know what to do. We ran out of Breaking Bad ideas. Um, it's so
They just need to bring Breaking Bad back.
do us. You know
I
what they
think
should do?
everybody
They
would love
should
it.
do a series on his daughter, the unborn kid or the baby that was born.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that would be interesting. It doesn't even have to do
So
anything drugs. It could just be a straight up drama.
So it's interesting. I was reading some of the comments in regards to how people felt about this,
Hmm.
and this one's funny. Somebody goes, Sarnoski is the top five director of the business, and I can't wait to bring him or can't wait to see him bring this to life. An anonymous person said, in quotes, Sarnoski is the top five director. Are you his mom or his agent? He's not that good. So
I enjoy
already
A
we're
Quiet
starting to
Place. So
see that I don't understand why. Well, and here's the thing. People are like, oh, well, he already had information and stuff to go off. So he didn't really have to build the universe because it already existed. But I thought the movie was good. I enjoyed it, and I hope he does a really good job. So,
yeah, and it's probably gonna be better than Until Dawn, and that was one of the movies I saw today, and it was terrible. It's screw that
mhm.
movie. Um,
Let us know how you really feel, Austin.
yeah.
Missed
Well,
it.
I'll go check out my review. My review for the movie. It will be already out by the time that this drops. But yeah, it's just oh gosh, like the video game adaptations lately just have not been good.
Yeah.
Minecraft.
What? That is
What?
the best movie I've ever seen. So
It's already made $700 million. I
that's not
think
surprising. It's
I'm sh
Minecraft could slap their logo on ice melting and probably sell it.
Oh yeah, because you have the 2-year-olds like Minecraft. Uh, chicken jockey.
Everybody, I just too funny. Okay, Austin,
Uh,
kills me.
yeah,
Um,
so
I just want to point out, when are we getting another Uncharted movie? Hello?
I think well, Tom Holland's busy with Spider-Man and next the Odyssey. There's rumors that they might start filming because well, he's I think he's filming Odyssey and Spider-Man back to back. And he's probably
Yeah,
doing some scenes with Avengers too. Um, which is all filming in the same
yeah.
range of each other, which is insane. So if
That is, that's a lot of movies and a lot of money. I'm sure he's going to be even more set for life.
yeah,
So,
we'll probably see him start filming Uncharted either towards the end of the year or start of next year. I think that's what we'll see in Uncharted 2.
yeah.
Because I don't hate the Uncharted movie that we've got. It's just not that good. Um,
I just thought it was entertaining. I
yeah,
don't think I would put it in like a,
it's
I
the
wouldn't
end.
rate it as like a winner, Academy Award winner or
No,
anything.
it's really the ending of where Nate and Sully's bond actually started to show of the film. It's
Yeah,
like, okay, these are actually how the characters are supposed to feel.
yeah.
If they continue that in the sequel, then great, cool. Um, but yeah, that's kind of it on the Death Stranding. I'm curious to see how they adapt it. It'll probably be A24's biggest project, and I'm curious to see where they go with it.
I hope they
And
make a lot of money and prove to be successful.
well, yeah.
So,
I mean, if it turns out to be successful, they'll probably do the sequel game too at it
oh,
as
I'm
well.
sure they're probably going to do the sequel game anyway. And
Oh
then
yeah.
after they do it, they'll make a live action remake.
Oh. Funny. No, no. See, no.
Right?
See, what we should do is start making remakes, but into animations.
Oh,
There we
that's a
go.
good idea.
Reverse it.
Ooh,
So
ooh,
they
ooh.
should remake Jurassic Park and put an animation,
And then
and
after they do the animation in 20 years, remake it live action. But instead of dinosaurs, make them a different animal
dogs.
cosplaying as dinosaurs. It's perfect
Or
idea.
or or after the animation, they do TV show, and next they do a book. So they
That's
go
great.
backwards
Okay. And then what they can do is they can cast Pedro Pascal
as the
as every
dinosaur, as
character.
the T-Rex.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. Hollywood should hire us. We're
And
so
next
smart.
they'll kill him in the final film. Um, is that spoilers?
I don't know
Maybe.
what you're talking about. That guy's in so many different movies and TV shows
Well,
that could be. We're not going to talk about which ones it could be. Fantastic Four. Just kidding.
uh,
Um,
yeah, he
well,
dies in that. They show that in the trailer.
yeah, they
Got
really did.
he got hit with a golf club. Um,
Why a golf club? Why not something like more like why not Thor's hammer or something? So
that's a shape as a golf club.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
that's fair.
It's like the Happy Gilmore and the hockey puck combination where they put
Got
that
it. I
into
I
one.
really missed that episode,
Yeah.
honestly. But
But yeah, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Speaking of Pedro Pascal, so they have renewed Last of Us for a third season before the first episode even dropped, which is not a shocker, but we've all knew that they were going to do a third season. Well, I'm not going to get into spoilers of season two at the moment, but I'm pretty sure you're aware of that they did the big thing already.
yes,
Um, I'm curious to see. I did not. I'm gonna get into a little bit of my thoughts on it. I'm not gonna go into spoilers or anything. I like the setup. I did not like the execution, and that was the biggest problem that I was worried about, and they did not execute it very well. Now, throwing that
see, that's
aside,
unfortunate. That's unfortunate to hear.
yeah, other people were like, "No, it's great." It's like, shut up. Um, but I'm curious to see how this affects the since they did the thing. Well, when I knew that when most people already knew it was happening, but the people for that didn't play the game, I'm curious how big of a drop off of viewership that the show is going to have.
I don't think. See, but here's the thing. I don't think there's a drop off of story arc development.
No, but
I think you
like
have
with The
to
Walking
remember.
Dead, people like, oh, since that character died, I'm not watching the show anymore. Like there were so many moments like with a character. that died, especially with a big important character later on in the season, the show, like a big one died, and people are like, nope, I'm done with the show.
Yeah,
And
I don't know. I think that would be really stupid
no,
if
I
people
think it's
did that,
stupid
but
too, but I'm
yeah.
curious if it's gonna have any affection on the actual show when it comes to viewership. Because it had big numbers on its first episode. It had 5.4 million, I think, on its first viewership on season two. So that's pretty good. So it might, if anything, I could see it maybe dropping 1 million.
Yeah, I would be curious to see. We'll have to keep track. We'll make sure to put spoilers everybody on this thing. But I think what I saw is HBO saw the Mr. Krabs meme. I like money. And just renewed it. Yeah, and just renewed it. I mean, it's a smart idea. I think it's brilliant to continue leveraging shows that obviously are very popular. Um, I haven't personally watched any of it. I know I'm so bad and far behind, but I've heard really great things from my wife and her family. So, uh,
Oh, she watched it?
her mom
Oh,
has been watching it actually, and she really likes the show.
okay.
So, and she doesn't obviously has not played the video games.
Yeah, make her play the video games. Let's see how she changes her mind on that.
Yeah, it probably won't happen,
She would
but
probably want to get past through the first level. It's
I've never
uh
played. I'm sure. Just kidding. I've played, but not. I haven't played in a long time. So,
mm,
but I'm excited to see how it's doing. It's had good reception.
yeah.
I've been keeping a close eye on IMDb and the comments, and for the most part, I've actually been impressed how good they've been. So,
Mhm. Now I had a train of thought. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, we'll have to see where it goes next. It's the thing is, would people even come back for season three? Like, since they're already this way into season two, would they even care enough to come back for season three? That's kind of another question to ask. Um, and
good.
like, like the things that they're changing. We already got through a lot of Abby's storyline, which was later on in the game. Um, so I'm curious what they're saving for season three then. And hopefully this means since they already renewed for season three this soon, hopefully that means they can get filming to it right
See,
away.
that's what I was reading. Was I was excited that for the people who like this show, that the quicker they film, especially for shows like this, the better it is for everybody long term.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Well, like, I mean, besides a specific actor, I'm pretty sure everyone else is free. I'm pretty sure their their
Yeah, I would
schedule is
make
all
myself free to get paid. Duh.
their schedule is pretty open, so they probably could film this next season this year, and the next season might and be out next year. But that means like, what do they do? Because like, what do they do after they complete the Sega game? Are they gonna? Because I think HBO is very particular on not doing things when that comes to adaptations, without going beyond that the material. Besides, I guess Game of Thrones, and I think they learned their lessons from Game of Thrones.
Oh
They're
yes, especially on that last season. My goodness, they got lit up for that. Oh my.
well, was that the only bad season, or was it kind of going downhill after they?
I think it depends on who you talk to. The It's kind of like Star Wars fans. If you talk to people about the the sequel
Don't stay
series,
away from Star Wars fans. Don't talk to them.
they just don't that like doesn't exist. I've talked to people who literally have said, "I don't believe that was the last season, or at least the last few episodes weren't legit." So I just find it interesting that showmakers can make such a great show and then absolutely botch. Like,
Well, when did the material stop become adaptable in the show?
I don't know actually.
Because
I
how many
never
books
watched
are
that
there?
show. I think it's one huge one to start, and then let me see. I'm everybody.
Because
Google is your best
I think
friend.
there's like 3 or 4 books, and they might have done a season for per book. I
No,
think that.
I think there's like seven or something.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
seven
there's
books,
seven books. Yeah.
and they did all that before season 7. That's
Well,
interesting.
if I remember correctly, and somebody needs to correct me on this, I think he was still writing the books
Yeah,
at
no,
one
he
point.
still says that he's writing the book. And yeah, it's like, where's the book? So
uh,
that's why
uh,
the reason why we got season seven the way that it was is because, like, well, we need to end the show somehow.
yeah. They
So,
probably should have just waited for the book to
well,
be
everyone would have
written.
been old.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Amelia Clark would
now
have
you can
been
have chat. Now you have
Emil.
Chat GPT. You can have that write it.
Yeah, Amelia Clark would have ruined her career by that point because Terminator Genesis would have been out by then, and so.
So,
But yeah, I mean, like HBO knows how to make a production look really good. It's just that they need it depends on who they hire. That's all. And I think so far I'm enjoying season two a lot more than season one. It's just that big hill of season of episode two that the thing that they did, and I know what the outcomes are, and me have to like, and me want that they need me to like Abby. I'm like, but for what happened in episode two, more than just the big thing that everyone's talking about, there's more that happened outside of that. I'm like, I can't get over that. Like that's a big problem for me. And if you guys want to get in more detail, go check out my episode two review. And I
yes. And make sure, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you didn't hear that, it's not our fault. Um, but no, I'm excited to see how they continue to kind of build off of that series and then go from there. So,
Yeah. And Elle, again, Bella Ramsey as Ellie now is not really working. It's really not. It really now from here on out, it really depends on her acting performance of bringing in that rage. Really, we'll have to see how she pulls that off. But lately, her characters is it's not very good. Her character, it's not her fault. It's the writer's fault.
okay,
Um, and people need to understand that. And when it comes to throwing blame, and people want to throw a lot of shame to Belle Ramsey, I make
sure.
jokes about her forehead, but I really don't actually mean it.
Oh my gosh,
But
that's terrible. Poor.
I don't really mean it. Like I could care less if she has a 8 foot forehead. But
You
um,
just said it again. That poor person.
but
So,
it's like I don't really actually mean it. It's just it at the end of the day they're jokes, but there's other people that go too far and they actually mean it. And next they blame the things that happen to the actor. And it's like she's just doing her job. Um,
yeah, and she's doing a great job because she's making a boatload of money. So,
yeah. So
kudos to her.
so let us know your guys' thoughts on on the idea of season three, and when do you expect it to come out? I think if they're announcing it this soon, they already have the scripts already done and ready to go. It's just that they
Yeah,
need
I
to
would.
probably
They
greenlit
probably started writing it
production,
from the end of the second season. So,
probably.
but
So we'll have to see when. Hopefully, it's next year, so we don't have to wait another 2 years, so
oh,
we can just
please.
get it out of the
Oh
way.
gosh, if it's like Andor, where I had to wait 2 years, three
And
years,
next they make us watch a movie every Tuesday
I
practically.
love it.
I hate that.
Thank you, Disney. I like that I can watch a movie. So,
But yeah, so yeah, let us know your thoughts. Moving on to this.
oh
So,
gosh,
I
oh,
mean,
we're gonna hear preaching to the choir.
you can take over if you want.
Oh, fine. All right.
Yeah.
So the sixth one's from Polygon, um, which if you read closely, you'll realize that physical media is probably Polygon forever, according to Ubisoft. So Ubisoft holds firm in the Crew lawsuit. You don't own your video games.
So yeah, if you guys don't know, Ubisoft right now is getting sued by people that own the original Crew game, like the one that came out, I think, was it 2010 when that original one came out.
Hmm.
Um, and they shut down the whole completely servers of the game where you can't play it in general, even the offline mode. You can't even play that. And so a lot of people were
Terrible.
upset, and it's like rightly so. It's like they paid for the game up front, and it's like, well, technically you don't own the game. You just paid a license for the game, and so sucks to suck. That's basically Ubisoft's motto. And it's like, Ubisoft, you're in the state of not be able to say stuff like that. Your company is drowning a lot worse than Warner Bros. And Paramount combined. You should, you're on the verge of being one of those this is mean to say, but you're being close to being those hobos in California. All right, so it's just you're not very in a good state right now, and so saying stuff like this isn't helping. And I disagree with them completely. And the thing is, the the aspect of physical discs, there's part of it where it's true where the physical disc is really just a digital key for the game to download, and then really it's
Which,
playing off of your PlayStation or whatever, and it's
well,
not really running off the disc. So I can see them coming from that point of view, which comes to the real question of the movie aspect. So does that mean whenever
not
I put in
movies.
a movie disc, and if it's something that a studio doesn't want out anymore, and if it's just connected to the cloud or whatnot, and they can just be like one push of a button, it's like, well, we don't want you watching that anymore, and they can
Yeah.
take that away from me.
Well, I think the argument here, I disagree with Ubisoft, so I'm just letting you know. But
Yeah.
the argument here was that we're not paying for the servers to be existent. Now, do I think that's the right thing to do? No, that's stupid. But what I will say is that it's funny if you read the argument about the statute of limitations, the packaging of the cruise game states that the activation code for the game doesn't expire until 2099. Now, here we
There's
are.
that. That's actually on the
Yes.
game.
Yeah. 74 years early, they are turning off this game. And so there was no reason they're stating to suggest that it was going to be shut down until they announced it in 2023. So imagine getting
A game.
getting this redemption.
Yeah.
This game does not exist. I mean, I get it. Like if it's not a playable game, fine. But
But it's like at least like hire like one or two people that will cost you barely anything to make you an offline mode of the game. So then those people can at least go play it and next have them have access to everything. Like
or
here,
just
you
leave the
unlock.
servers open. How many people are going to end up playing? Some of
Well,
my favorite games.
apparently it seems like there was still a few people playing the game.
Yeah,
Um, but not enough for Ubisoft to like, wow, there's no reason to keep it online. And if we're not making all the money right now for it. But
yeah,
it's like but it's like you're in a state of like trying to rebuild your relationship with your fan base. And this would have been an easy win to with them to be like, hey,
yeah.
this is an old game. We're going to shut off the online stuff, which would be unfortunate. I know that's sad, but
Yes.
we're going to give you guys the opportunity to pay $10 up front for the offline mode forever. Just it's yours. You unlock everything. Here's an extra just
Well, and they just didn't do it well. Should I have to take you to court for you to do the right thing? It was
well,
funny.
the thing is
Uh,
that, well, that's the real question. Do you think the people that are suing Ubisoft will win? I don't think they will.
Probably. I mean, here's the thing. If they can prove that there was intent to keep that game open for another 74 years, they may have to honor
I
it
th
or compensate them.
I
I would
think there
guess
was
that they're going to
another
compensate.
maybe, but I think there was another lawsuit similar to this, and I don't remember the people suing winning. And so,
Yeah.
and it's also the court case is taking place in California, and California is against a lot of what people like. Um, sorry,
That's too funny. That was
but you
funny.
know, it's true.
Uh, I want to read a comment from this man named Joe. If I don't own a Ubisoft game, then Ubisoft won't own any more of my money.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. Yeah, so
yikes.
that's the problem with Ubisoft. It's like all right, fine. You don't want me to own your games, fine. I won't buy your games then.
Yeah.
And so
Well, and I think that kind of leads into our next topic, and I'll
I mean,
explain.
yeah. Let us know your guys' thoughts on this whole entire situation down below. Um,
Oh, sorry, I'm
it's just
slacking off down here.
well, no, you're fine. It's just that this is it is kind of a scary thing to see like could this affect movies eventually? It's like of like a dis like say I don't know. It would be kind of strange that they did it, but let's just say like we don't want you watching Die Hard anymore. And so it's like even that disc that you have won't work if you put in a Blu-ray because in the Blu-ray it
Uh,
sends out a signal to a satellite and we can block you from watching that.
no, wait until they make you do 50 gigabyte downloads for your movie.
Oh my God, that would be awful.
And
It's
I'm
like
kidding. It shouldn't be that much, but still.
and you still get 180p and not the 4K. It's like what?
Yeah.
It's how's it? Oh,
Oh
speaking of 180,
gosh,
is
just bad. But I'm excited to talk about this next one. All right, everybody. I know we're jumping around already, but it's good. It's good. So the Nintendo Switch 2 came out for pre-order yesterday, or well, I
hmm.
guess this morning.
And
Um,
scalpers already got it all.
oh, I ordered one. So
Why did you buy that garbage? Why are you buying into this corporate greed?
because what if I know somebody that wants one? I can
Yeah,
always
I want
cancel
one
it.
and I can destroy it for you. How about that?
What? Why do you want to? Anyway, so it launches on June 5th with Mario Kart World as the highlight of its launch day game lineup. Now, here's the thing that really bothers me. Um, this is where it gets crazy. The Mario Kart World as launch title will go on sale either in a $500 bundle or on its own for $80.
Or $90 for the
$80?
little cartridge that
What?
doesn't even actually have the game on it. It's just a digital code. Which by the way, that $500 bundle goes away in November.
Yeah, I mean,
It, so
either I just think that
so
they're
people
forcing people to
like
buy bundles. It
well
has to be.
well it's that, but it's also it gives people the argument of like, see, your game doesn't really cost $80 to $90 if you buy the bundle, but it's like technically it does in a few months when they take away the bundle for the freaking holidays. So it's like Ubisoft. They're both greedy. Nintendo is just a greedy ass company, and I hate them because I was thinking about buying a Nintendo Switch too because I do want to play Mario Kart. I do want to play um the software exclusive game. But then when I saw the pricing point for it, I'm like, fuck that. Fuck you
Well,
for $80
especially when you can get a
games.
Steam Deck. I mean, I think the
And
hard part that I
the
have
pro
is the 1080p
well,
resolution
that
and an
too for
LCD
five hundred
screen.
dollars. For $500, 1080p.
Yeah,
Like
I
that would make sense 10 years ago. People have been like, okay, well, it's a little
and
expensive,
the
but
internal storage of 256 gigabytes, so you can have like two games.
and it's ridiculous that they're adding a price point on the tutorial on how to fucking use the god dang Switch. Did you know about that?
I didn't see that.
There's a $10 payment if you want to play the freaking tutorial to how to use the Switch. And there's a
Oh
button.
gosh.
And there's even a subscription on a button on the Switch. Like if you like there's like this I don't know much about the subscription, but there's a button on one of the remotes that you can't use unless you pay a subscription for it so then you can use it.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's $10.
Yeah. It's I don't I don't know what they're doing. And there's a lot of backlash and people are going and since the Switch went pre-orders finally in the US after this whole entire tariff situation, um but like people are going like they sold out so people wanted them. It's like yeah, they probably had a limited amount.
That's
That's probably why
that's
they sold
crazy.
out. Like and companies can say like, oh, see, they sold like you don't hear me saying like blue 4K sold out on a movie all the time because like it's just their limit. There's because it's not always true. They can limit to how many they sell, and that's to make it sound good on headlines until
Yeah,
you actually hear the amount of numbers that they sold. Um,
that's great. I didn't realize that's awful, awful, awful. That's just terrible. Could you imagine being like, Grandma, I got you a Switch? And she's like, How do you use the thing?
I don't. Oh,
$10.
$10, Grandma. Um, Gosh,
It's
it's
so bad. Oh, Nintendo, what are you
and
doing?
how much is to upgrade your games? How much does it cost to upgrade your games to from 720 to 1080?
I have no
Practically.
idea. But
Um,
imagine though I mean, that just blows my mind.
this is ridiculous. And now, because now GTA 6 is 100% going to be $120. It's
Yeah,
100% going to be now. Um, unless I unless we do something and it's too late that you freaking did it if we don't buy the freaking garbage thing. And so like we need to start boycotting companies at this point. Not burning their cars, boycotting them. There's a difference between boycotting and vandalizing. Um, talking to you, Tesla haters. Um,
Oh my goodness.
See, I'm not a big fan of either people, but it's like there's a difference between boycotting and vandalizing. So, um, but yeah, we need to start not buying these things because this is getting ridiculous. Especially,
Yeah.
it's one thing if GTA 6 came out and be like $80 to or $90, but people would have been like, there would have been a little bit backlash, but most people would have been like, oh, yeah, no, makes sense. Your game probably costs $2 billion to make. Um, that's pretty exception. This is a game that
Yeah.
people have been waiting for a very long time. And companies need to know that boundary of like if it's gonna if it costs us this much, why is that? Should it really cost that much? But
Yeah.
Nintendo's like, no, do you want to play Mario Kart? $100. And it's like,
Uh, Want to play Mario Kart with the tutorial? $110.
yeah,
No, just
it's
kidding.
like, do you want to only? It's no, you know, it'd be funny if people bought Mario Kart for $80, but all they bought was the menu, and they need to pay another $20 to play the actual game.
Or if they needed to pay money to get extra characters like DLCs.
It's yeah, no, you only get one character throughout the whole entire playthrough. You only get to play as like uh what's one of those useless characters? Um
My me character.
yeah, yeah.
Just kidding.
You don't even get to play as Mario or any like the main characters. You just play as like the one character that no one plays. Um I can't think of any Mario characters. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get a lot of hate. But yeah, this is stupid. This is ridiculous. I
Yeah.
hate this. And anyone that bought this, you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at you. Um,
I'm gonna go cry. All right.
it's also
I'll wipe my
ridiculous.
tears in 1080p.
Yeah. And it's just ridiculous that they're making the physical more expensive than the digital for a cartridge that is this big, that
Yeah.
is barely this big, and it has maybe 10% of the game actually on it. The rest of it is like digital. What do you like? What are we doing here? Like this is
Right.
like
I'm
this ha
surprised they haven't just moved to all digital games at this point.
well, there's a market out there. It doesn't matter if like, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter how small it is. You're gonna milk them to their every last worth of whatever it is. So that's kind of all I gotta say on this. Just don't buy it. Don't support it.
Buy the Switch.
Wait a
Everybody
year.
buy the tutorial. Spend the
Gosh.
$10. Learn how to use the Switch too. So,
Well, you know, it'd be funny. People came out and like bought in, like, I don't know how to use it. 1 star. And Nintendo's like, well, if you buy our $10 tutorial, you could use
oh
it.
my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That
So I like, if you guys want to buy it, wait like 3 months to a year to buy it. Like to just scare the
people aren't
exam.
going to do that.
I mean, at
So,
some point, we gotta start doing stuff like this to
yeah,
start boycotting companies.
that's
Uh,
fair.
and so don't buy it. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below on this.
Drop them below.
But we're gonna be moving on to our exclusive episode stuff. So enjoy this portion of the exclusive episode, guys. Shaun had a lot of interesting comments to make on these topics, so
He always has interesting comments.
it was a fun conversation. So hopefully these two sections that I'm about to show you make you guys want to go out and actually listen. So go ch we'll be back right after this break, I guess. I don't know. Speaking of making multiple movies, this is the one I'm actually most excited for. It only sucks I have to wait 3 years to see it. But so they're coming out with a bunch of Beatle films, a four film cinematic event that is going to be directed by Sam Mendes. And it's Paul McCartney will be played by Paul Mescal. Um, who, if you guys don't know who that is, he played in Gladiator 2, the son um, of Russell Crowe's character. You got John Lemon will be played by Harris Dickinson. I haven't liked a lot of Dickinson's films. That's more of the writing side and the story side, but he is really good in the those movies. You got Ringo Starr will be played by Barry Kingun. I have no idea to say his name. Who was in what was he in? I
Well,
forget.
are you said Barry Cogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Irish. Yeah, Cogan is how you say that. But yeah, he was the Joker in the Batman
Okay, that's right.
in that last he was also in the guard what was not what was the one Marvel movie he played
Oh, uh, oh,
the one that
oh,
didn't do so well.
I'm blanking
Uh,
it.
you know what
It's
I'm talking
the,
about.
it starts with an E. Um,
The Eternals. He was in the
Eternals. That's, I
Eternals.
was thinking
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Elemental. I was like, I get that word out of my head.
yeah.
But so you got, you got George Harrison will be played by Joseph Quinn. Joseph Quinn is just is just getting a lot of projects after Stranger Things. He's been becoming a really big star. But and so what's interesting about this is that they're gonna make four Beatle films, but they're gonna be each movie's gonna be about each member, and just it's gonna be the same movie, but all from different perspectives. So depending on the watch order, could change your perspective on each film of itself, which sounds very interested to me because I don't know if I said this on video, but I know I've said this to people in person of like, you know, it would be cool if they do like some form of like biopic cinematic universe, something like that, where like you have like Timothy Chalamet's Bob Dylan show up in, I don't know, El and an Elvis film. I don't think they ever met, but I'm just saying as an example. But like that would be kind of cool if they did something like that. And this is kind of in the similar realms of that. Now that's a lot of movies to watch. And curious how they will release it. I think they've said that they will release it in the same month, so it's every new weekend that a new film will come out. I say like every 2 weeks you release the other ones. I think that would be best for people. Because
Yeah, but they
um
won't make the money if they release them every 2 weeks.
no
They're not
they
gonna they're not gonna make a lot of money. They're gonna have to space them out.
yeah. So
But
I'm curious.
I like Sam Mendes. You know, Skyfall. He directed Skyfall. The James Bond movie is my favorite
Mhm.
James Bond movie from the Daniel Craig era. He directed 1917, Road to Perdition. I don't think we need four Beatles movies. I think we need one.
Well, yeah.
And that would probably suffice. But whatever they're gonna do and create this Beatles universe, it just kind of seems like milking a cow.
Well, their whole pitch is to make it like an event to bring people back to the theater. That's their goal with it. I agree with you, but I actually see that they could do a lot more by diving into these people's lives they get their own individual films. And it'd be kind of cool to see certain scenes in
Let
the
me tell you, let me tell you something.
hmm.
The two movies out of the four that'll make the most money
Oh,
is going to be the Ringo is not going to be Ringo Starr or George Harrison. It's going to be the Paul McCartney and the John
hmm.
Lennon movie. The other two will tank financially.
Yeah.
No one's going to go see all of them equally. No one liked Ringo.
Hmm.
Like they just didn't.
Yeah.
So like the thought that like we're going to give him a whole movie, a biopic on Ringo. No. You have to put the Fab Four together because
That's what they made them.
nobody's going to go see the other two. As
Yeah.
much as people like George Harrison, it just feels like it's a stretch. Now, they're probably going to have to block shoot the movies because if you're going to shoot things from people's perspectives all in the same timeline, you have to literally do, if you're at one location, shoot everything from all four movies at one location. It's going to be a mess. I mean, I wouldn't want to be a part of that. That's an
Well,
endeavor.
yeah, it like they would have to really be on point with a lot of these things. But like, bringing up those same shoots, it's, I mean, like, would it just be a simple camera change? Like like a different camera shot, be like, all right, so we're gonna film this scene for the Joseph Quinn film. So get the camera shot here, lighting. All right, action. All right, cool. Now we're gonna shoot this scene from this character's perspective for this movie. All right,
Well, you have to think about like when you film a movie, you shoot in a 12-hour day.
yeah.
So if you're shooting one person's coverage in a scene, and then you have to shoot the other person's coverage for their movie in another scene. I mean, this is a process. I don't think I've ever heard of anything being shot like this before. I
Well, that's
mean,
why it's
I
not coming out until
remember.
April 2028.
Right, but I remember when they did the two Matrix movies back to back, simultaneously. They shot Back to the Future one or two and three
Yeah.
simultaneously, but those were just two movies. We're talking about four movies, four characters, and they're period piece film, which makes wardrobe and all the backgrounds and everything such an
Well,
enormous undertaking.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be, as someone who works in the film industry,
the,
I would not want to be on these films in that capacity. That
for
this is a
sure.
hard movie. These are hard
Now,
movies.
there could be like four different co-directors too.
No,
No,
no, because Sam Mendes is going to be the guy to hold all the glue together because it's all in his head. You
so he
can't
can't be
have
the Kevin
somebody
Feige.
else. I mean, you could have a second unit director doing stuff like, if there's aerial shots of the tour van driving down the road. Yeah, I mean, you can send a second unit to go do that.
Hmm.
But for these being so intimate, dramatic scenes with these four characters, I can't see like somebody coming in and doing it would have been announced ahead of time if it was going to
Yeah,
be like the Russo brothers or, something like that.
yeah,
It's just, oof, this is
yeah.
going to be a tough one.
I agree, but it's a cool idea. And if it's executed right, this could be a bit. This could be Oppenheimer, like a Barbie, a Oppenheimer, or whatever how they called it,
Barbenheimer or
Barbenheimer.
whatever it was
Barbenheimer.
called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Like it could be on the same level as that if they're executed perfectly. I don't know. Carson, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Well, so as somebody that absolutely loved the Beatles,
Oh,
loves
really?
the Beatles, and yeah, oh yeah. I mean, well, anything pre before they were in like their psychedelic era, I would say is probably like the 60s. Anyway, um, I don't mind the casting. Casting is fine. I agree with Shaun that this is a very mighty undertaking, and especially with two people that are going to be, two of the less popular Beatles. I think is a really good way to say it. I'm not saying they're not as talented. The Beatles were the Beatles because of the individuals that were a part, but John Lennon's film is going to be interesting. I'm curious to see if they talk about Yoko Ono on it. That would be interesting as well. But I think the best way, besides Sam Mendes being the director and mastermind behind this, is going to be how they market it and how they release it and schedule it and all those. Um, Part of me thinks that if it's going to be, because I think if I'm not mistaken, April 2028, correct, was
Yeah.
when they were looking for the four.
Hmm.
You'd almost have to do like a Paul first and then a John last, or a John first and a Paul last.
Like
And
maybe like put like the pop like one popular Beatle first, the next unpopular, not the least one of the least popular ones second, popular and next
yes,
most.
kind of.
Yeah.
And and if they're all singular, nobody's going to want to see the two less popular. Like there may be some diehard fans, but like I said, now it's all going to be in the marketing and master strategy behind how successful two of the four are. But there's ways to get around it. I mean, there's plenty of time, right? So we're thinking, what, 3 years almost on the nose?
Yeah.
So if they can do a good job, it's going to come down to marketing and it's going to come down to, what kind of fan service do they do? Because I've seen some of the original Beatles movies and they're enjoyable because it's the original Beatles, right? So I don't know. It's just interesting to see that this was a concept. I know that some of the other ones, like the Elton John film, did really well. Um, was it the gentleman from I always forget his name,
Uh
Sammy? What did he do? Oh my goodness, I can see it. Queen, the guy from Queen. I always forget his name.
mm,
Um, like there's been some really good movies for historical characters. And so, and then Bob Dylan, obviously, that's,
Right, right.
but I, I don't know. Some of that success of those films was because they have diehard fans that absolutely love those characters, and they picked really popular actors and actresses to play them. So, like, I don't know. I'm very hesitant. I'm
So you
excited
don't
though.
you don't think
I'm a
that
Beatles
Joseph
fan.
Quinn would pull in an audience for not for like a less likable Beatles person?
I would say, and I mean this super respectfully to him as an actor, I think he's on the upswing, like he's
Hmm.
scoring major roles, but does he have the does he have the following or like the acumen of somebody like um, the gentleman who played Elvis or the gentleman who played Bob Dylan? I don't know.
Hmm.
So
Well,
that
there
remains to be
is
seen.
a little bit of buzz going on. Julia Baird, who was John Lennon's half sister, has expressed some concerns about the casting of the Fab Four because she says that none of them are from Liverpool, and the accent is almost impossible to capture if even if you're British. That if
Hmm.
you're not born and raised in Liverpool, you don't get it, and if they miss it in any way, shape, or form, they're going to get called out for it. That's bold because
Uh,
actors can act, but I'll tell you what, man, you flub an accent.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah, you upset
And if
a
that's John Lennon's half sister saying that based on the casting of these four guys,
uh-huh.
because you got to, I mean,
oh
Barry
yeah,
Cogan
you have
is from Ireland. He's not
yeah.
from, you know, Liverpool. So interesting that
You
she's calling them out on that.
I haven't really seen much of Harris Dickinson's acting, like overall, but like from the select films I've seen him from, he is really good. So we'll have to see if he can pull that
Yeah.
accent off.
Well, and that's the interesting thing is there's a difference between being a really great actor
Yeah,
and
you
being
gotta know
able
your
to act
boundaries.
and play a well and play a character. Maybe they need to take a a page out of Daniel Day-Lewis's book and go live in Liverpool for 3 years. What does
Yeah.
that look like? I don't
But
know.
well, maybe that's why it's coming out in 2028 because they're gonna make them live there for like a couple of years just this way
Yeah.
until the accent comes out. And it's like we're not filming until you get this accent,
It would
or
never
we'll
come out. Just
yeah,
kidding.
or we'll CGI you out like that one guy in that one Zack Snyder film, um, whatever that was for Netflix. That was
I will say, other than, Chalamet playing Bob Dylan and then, the Elvis and all, these guys have massive shoes to fill,
mhm.
you
Yeah,
know, massive shoes. I just don't know if I'd want to take on that challenge.
yeah. Well, we'll have to
Because
wait
if
and
you
see.
get it wrong or you're hated in some way, shape, or form, boy, the Beatles fans don't play around. They
Oh
just wouldn't,
no.
you know?
Are there a lot of Beatles fans around to make this movie popular though?
Yes. Oh
Absolutely.
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I mean,
I barely listen to the Beatles. There's a couple.
you think I wasn't born until 20 plus years after the Beatles, well, 30 plus years after the Beatles came, and I'm still a huge fan. So they have some timeless music, and it's enjoyable, and that's the thing too is that when you talk about it's not like James Bond where you do a one film and go, yeah, you're not James Bond. We're going to cast somebody else. It's you're portraying a character or characters, excuse me, of real life people that have sold, millions of albums and have millions of fans. So it'll be interesting. I'm definitely intrigued to see how this goes. So,
New films, Universal movies confirmed at CinemaCon. Oh boy, How to Train Your Dragons 2.
Dude,
Fuck.
let me tell you something. That Epic Universal, if you go on TikTok right now and you just type in Epic Universal Dragon, dude, the stuff they're doing down there is insane.
Yeah,
They are really banking on this to be their Star Wars, this
I
How to
like
Train Your Dragon.
I like the ideas of the parks that they're doing, but I'm sick and tired of these goddamn remakes. Like, there's no
wow.
point to it. Like, it's
Well,
just
I think the point to it was to get people to come to their park. Disney has
Yeah.
fumbled the bag for 10 years, and now Universal is going to step in. And I
but
follow the
but if it's gonna be
Universal's
the
vice
same
president.
exact if it's gonna be the same exact movie that we had 10 years ago, what's the point? Like,
Well,
It's it's literally the
again,
hype of the park. Sorry,
Disney,
sorry.
Disney, just like Universal, Disney makes all their money off the parks and the cruise lines. They don't make
hmm
it off the movies. They do, but they don't. Like if you look
yeah.
at their spreadsheets, Universal is trying to do the same thing. They're trying to replicate the fact that they could make more money off their parks and what they've invested in this thing and how they're going to make How to Train Your Dragon, their Star Wars franchise, insane. I
Okay.
watched a video today on TikTok. They took, those robotic dogs that you
Hmm.
see walking around that have no head and it's just like legs. They put a dragon on top of that shit with full animatronic eyes and mouth, and it walks around the park.
Yeah, that's
I,
cool. I like
I'm
that.
just what I'm saying is I got to give it to them for putting it all out there like
Well,
that.
that's
And
fine,
like
but
Carson was
Hmm.
saying, Carson, you had some thoughts on this. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say it's because I'm a big Universal Studios guy. My
Hmm.
dad worked there for quite a few years, and the vice president of creative marketing, the gentleman that I follow on LinkedIn. I mean, when you look about how thoughtful their park has been designed to emulate like the craft that is movie making or the craft that is writing.
hmm.
Wow.
Like the park was designed with that whole thought process. And that's where it's really beautiful. Like it makes you feel like you're stepping in.
Yeah.
And now, mind you, Disney did a really good job with this with their Star Wars world. I think the issue that I had is because they kind of lagged behind on some of the Star Wars content. Like they didn't maximize it to its full potential and
Well,
rested on
they
the laurels
tried,
of
and
how
it's garbage
e-
stuff.
Well, I
exactly.
mean, well,
Whereas,
you
yeah,
you you see what they're doing now is like they were trying to make it all the future stuff, like the sequel stuff, and
Yeah.
then but now they're bringing Luke Skywalker, they're bringing R2D2, they're bringing Princess Leia, they're bringing all these characters that they should have started with
Yeah.
instead of
yeah,
making it.
Well,
It should have been Tatooine and not
well, they try to
whatever they
make
called it.
the park land canon to the movies when they shouldn't have had. They should have just made it a land.
It should have been a Galaxy's Edge and not call it a certain thing. But
Yeah.
Carson, you still had a thought about Universal, what Universal's doing now. So go ahead.
oh yeah, yeah, no, no, for sure. So, I watched the video. I was going to go to the opening in May, like I had literally like called and had booked, and unfortunately, it just won't work out just due to work and whatnot. But I know it's going to be good, and I think the big thing that Universal isn't saying, but what they are saying, and Sean, you pointed out so well, is they're willing to make that investment and step out, knowing that this could be a huge financial risk, but they know that it's going to do well because they put
Yeah.
so much thought and care into it. And I'm interested to see. I know the one thing that I thought was interesting, and it's not a political comment by any mean, but like U.S. tourism has taken a huge hit. So I'm curious to see how Epic Universe does with the reception of non-Americans that usually come to Florida.
Yeah.
So
It's
kind of
true. A
curious to
lot of
see.
Canadians go down every year to Florida, and that's
Yeah,
where they spend their vacations, and they're not coming, and then and they're making it so hard for people to even come in to the country. It's wild, but
yeah.
it will
So
be interesting to see how they all hurt from it.
Which park is getting this? Is it Universal in
it's called
Florida, or is
It's
it
Orlando. It's
is it
Orlando.
Orlando?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's called Epic Universe. So they'll have three parks. Well, three parks and a water park, so four. And it'll basically emulate. If you look at like the acreage, Epic
Yeah.
Universe is huge, and they
It's
have
Yeah.
massive.
Their Helios Hotel, which looked amazing. Or basically, you can like basically get into the park right from the hotel. I mean, it's a fantastic idea and build, and I love Universal
Yeah,
Studios.
I
So
like I'm glad that they're expanding their park because it makes more competition for Disney. Disney's been getting too settled in their properties and at Disneyland and being half-assed with the stuff that they try to make. That's why the Star Wars
it,
hotel, whatever they created, did not
oh, the
work because
hyperspace,
yeah, because
yeah.
it was just cheap garbage, even though it
But
was expensive.
there was a father that took his kid for one day at Universal not too long ago. This is before Epic was even released, and it was $1,200 for the two of them with lightning passes for one day.
Mm.
And so,
Yeah.
like, they've got to figure out how to get the damn price down at these parks.
Well,
We're
the one
about to
in
we're about to go to
LA,
Disney this
or
year, and we've got 7 grand set aside in a savings account
oh,
for it because I have a friend of mine who went to Disney 4 years ago, and he just told me I just paid off my Disney because he put it all on credit cards and stuff. And that's the thousands of dollars he spent. It took him
yeah,
4 years to pay it off. And I didn't want to do that. So our entire tax return from last year, we put into a savings account titled Disney, so that we don't go into debt when we go. But
yeah,
that's a lot of money. That's 5 days at Disney.
yeah. So
Yeah.
That's
you're doing
six
both
thousand, seven
sides.
thousand dollars. Yeah. And
Yeah.
we're gonna go one day to Universal because we got to go to Hogwarts
Yeah.
and take
Like
the train and
I
all
think
that shit.
Universal Studios is still cheaper than Disneyland.
Well, it is, but it's close. I
Yeah.
mean, let's be honest, it's
Yeah.
close. It's not like Universal Hollywood is really not as expensive as Orlando because Orlando's got more attractions.
Yeah.
Hollywood, that stuff, the tram ride, everything's packed in there tight because there's not a lot of space.
Yeah, but that's where they have most of the events, like the night terrors, I think is there and not at the other one.
No,
Um,
they have it in Florida.
oh, they do have it in Florida
Is
too?
the haunted whatever, the haunted night, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Halloween
Well,
Horror Nights or whatever.
Halloween Horror Nights. Yeah.
I'm happy that they're doing that stuff, but I don't want my number one problem with Hollywood at the moment is throwing away creativity to make a quick buck. And that's what
Yep.
these remakes are about.
I
And
Yeah.
understand. I understand that, but the
and
bottom line is it's called show business.
yeah, I know. I know.
Okay, the business part is just as important as the show.
Hmm.
And like you can't make more movies unless you're getting business. So
But
Yeah.
I
that's
would
the
have been
only thing.
fine
Just
with
look
these
at it
re
like that.
yeah, I know. I would have been fine with these remakes if they were adapting the books even more closely. Because that's the thing. These movies are adapted from books. And from my understanding that the How to Train Your Dragon animations kind of deviate a bit from the books. And now if these were true adaptations of the books and like, making more of the dragon looking like the dragon in the book that's very different and exchanging some things around. But from my understanding, this is just straight up scene by scene remake.
I'm gonna make. I got a bet. I'm gonna put a bet. I'm gonna put a bet right now. You're gonna go see How to Train Your Dragon, and you're gonna cry.
I will put a bet.
And and and,
I'll
and,
fake it. No, I'm just
no,
kidding.
no, you're gonna cry. There's gonna be a moment in the movie that you just tear up.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm just saying.
I'm still giving it the benefit of the doubt,
I
but
have faith in Universal.
I've
I
been burned
Yeah.
out by these remakes. That's the problem. And
Yeah.
understood.
I
Understood.
like the How to Train Your Dragons movies so much that if you fuck this up,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Dude,
rain.
they invested billions in this new
Well,
epic
it's gonna make a
universe, and
billion. It's gonna
their
make a
world. Do you see they've got dragons flying in the sky?
I know it's hilarious. I love
It's
it.
it's
It's so
crazy.
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the way that the director's PR sounds doesn't sound
So
like he cares that much about the
And let me tell
universe.
you something. I worked on the Mel Gibson movie, and Noah
Hmm.
was the lead in that one, Monster Summer, and he plays
Yeah,
the kid in the
he was
dragon.
okay in that movie.
He's a good actor. This kid's a good
yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
It's
I
the
think
trailer just doesn't show it from my
see,
point of
and this is the thing. Everybody's like, oh, shot for shot remake, blah, 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 blah. The whole point is that the movie was so great, you don't need to remake it, but we're gonna remake it in live action because we're they're spending this money for style. We're showing you we can create a
Right.
universe that is
Mhm.
animation and put it in real life. And
And
they've
make it
done that with Epic
immersive.
Universe. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't want to say it's really a PR stunt, but it's really a PR stunt for their
Yeah.
park. And it just so happens to align at the same, well, that was on purpose, of course. But
well, do
Yeah.
so,
something different. That's all I say. Do something
oh,
Well,
different.
listen,
and
How
they
to Train
will.
Your Dragon 2 is probably going to be different because you haven't seen it yet.
Well, if anything, I probably bet it's going to be very similar to the sequel animation.
No, you don't know. You don't know.
Well, I know
They could
they ha
deviate. Dude, but there's also a series of short films and cartoons with the How to Train Your Dragon.
yeah,
On Netflix, there's a bunch of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole world.
Yeah, maybe they can adapt the TV shows. They could. We'll
I
have
don't
to
know.
wait and
We'll see.
see. It comes out June 11th, 2027.
You're gonna cry. You're gonna
Uh,
cry.
how much money are we putting on this bet?
Uh, well, I'm not gonna be sitting next to you, so you got to be honest. If you to
I'm
come out and go, "Yeah,
always
I cried, I
Well,
honest.
cried."
I
You got
totally
he's
do
gonna,
not love Amelia Perez. I totally do not. It's my favorite movie of all time.
so be like, she doesn't look like Astrid and be crying. I'm just kidding.
you're gonna come out and
My biggest complaint is the twins don't even look like twins.
you're
But
out of the theater reaction when you're in your car. You're gonna go. this movie made me cry. I'm telling you, it's
I'm
Yes.
just
I'm gonna I'm gonna be walking with my hood over my head, be like, no, this movie sucks. It's not that good. Uh,
I
and we're back from our break. All right, that was just two
had to
seconds
drink a
for
lot
us.
of water. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. I'm just kidding.
Huh. But yeah, so now we're moving on to Carson's reviews. I'm gonna let you take over. I'm still on break,
Well,
I guess, but
first and foremost, everybody, this is always my favorite part of Ed Austin. You have to admit, it's the best part.
well, yeah, I don't have to do anything. It's the
I
one time
was
I
waiting
actually
for him
don't
to
I
say
don't
something
have to
like that.
do something like anymore.
So, oh, good, good, good. One second. Let me fix my hair so it looks good, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. No, so we're going to be reviewing and talking about three films that I've seen within the last 2 weeks. Now, mind you, at this point in time, it is the last week of April. So if you're seeing this and go, well, why didn't you review these? Blah, blah, blah. I leave that up to Austin when he does his individuals. And let me tell you, if Austin hates a film, he will let you know. If he doesn't, he's probably sick.
Yeah,
So
I
probably,
probably won't talk. Probably won't talk about a film that I actually do like, and talk about something I hate.
yeah, I exactly. Thank you, everybody. So,
Yeah.
our first film that we saw was Drop. Now, Drop, I would consider to be what I like to call a very uh, close, tight thriller. Now, what I mean by that is that there's not a lot of variety of scenery. It's in a very tight and tight knit environment, and it takes place in a way that there really doesn't have a lot of change in sets, dynamic, anything like that, but still gets a story across. Um, so we have a woman who her husband had previously been gone. I'm just gonna say that. I think I want to leave that a little. Remember, her previous person that she was with was gone. She
Yeah,
was no longer with him.
yeah, I
We
know.
don't want to
It's,
spoil what
it's
happens.
I know I don't want to spoil it, but we'll talk about it after because I actually there's a part in the film that actually confused me. I think I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the final shot that confused me, but
yeah. So the person that this woman is with is gone. She has a baby with this person, and now it's kind of flash forward a few years, and she's getting back into the dating game. So she's in this dating game. She sees this guy on the app, swipes, whatever, clicks, hearts, I don't know, whatever they do. And she ends up going to dinner with this man. Well, soon after, she starts getting drops, kind of like airdrops to your phone, which is why the
without an iPhone.
yes, which is why I think they called it drop because they probably couldn't get iPhones permission.
They're
So
they're
she's
too
sitting here
expensive.
getting drops, like little memes during dinner, and
They were
like
funny memes.
I know
Funny
they were
death memes.
actually they actually were really good. I thought it was excellent. So during this whole dinner, she starts to get memes, messages, things basically saying that she needs to kill this guy she's on a date with. And so this entire time, it's a progression of her trying to figure out who it is, the revelation of who it could be, starting to kind of release dynamics, and basically comes down to you need to kill this man or I will kill your family. Now, mind you, there were a few shots and a few things that I was like, what is going on?
Hmm.
Why are they like zooming in on this? Or they're like blurring it? Sometimes it would be really annoying and frustrating to my vision.
Yeah.
It may just be me, but I thought it was a great film. It was really well paced. The acting was pretty good. I would probably give it an 8 out of 10 on the low end, to 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's where I am on that. It's that the film kind of loses me halfway when it starts revealing like certain things. I'm like, like especially when it starts revealing who is doing all these drops. I'm like, this is, yeah, it's okay, all right. I kind of
Yeah.
predicted it because like this person we only saw once, and it's like that has to be that person. It's not gonna be this person that they keep bugging throughout the
Fair.
whole entire film. But
Well, and
did you pick up
I
the
think,
lines throughout the film with the waitress lady try like that was so forced dialogue? It's like, oh, she didn't like the line. She didn't. Oh, she want the limes now. It's like, what? Who cares? Just give the man the
uh,
limes.
yeah, I think they were just trying to do that to create some animosity or some like
Forced tension.
between
Yeah.
her date and her. But overarchingly, it was a great film. We don't want to spoil too much, but if
Oh
you're
no.
looking for just a different type of thriller that you can just go watch for, an hour and 40 minutes, hour and 50 minutes,
Hmm.
um, this is a good one. So
Yeah,
awesome.
no, that is a good one.
So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one, Amateur. So Amateur was another one that I saw within the last 2 weeks. This one is a little bit different. I would say this is more of an action thriller drama, probably a
It's a,
mix between the three.
it's probably like it's a really slow film. It's a slow burn type of film.
I didn't think it was super slow, but I mean, there's definitely moments where you're like on the edge of your seat, like, "Ugh," or it makes you go, "Wow, I can't believe that happened."
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, it's a man, Rami Malek, who is a CIA
Who was not in Until
analyst.
Dawn, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness, is a CIA analyst. More or less, you just kind of see him and his wife's dynamic. He goes to work. He's kind of like the little white collar, go down into the basement, clickety clackety, some, keyboard buttons, and, working behind a computer. Well, then, midway through this, we find out that wife goes on to England for her work trip. She ends up getting killed by terrorists. Um, Rami Malek has to kind of face this. Do I want to seek revenge? Do I want to be a killer? Do I want the CIA to train me in this? Or do I need to just let what my wife wanted or knew me as to be the thing that I'm remembered for? And so this whole thing is him fighting this, and it's a very interesting story. I very much enjoyed it. So I would probably give it a 7 out of 10. I think the ending was a little quick and just kind of
It's
fell off.
random. Uh,
It's not random as much as it just dies. Like the story just goes,
well,
and just falls off.
it's random in the sense of like this guy went on all this journey, killed literally everyone, but then decides to not go through with it in a sort of way towards the end. I'm like, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Strange.
So it, it's just unfortunate. But I would say that it was good enough to go see,
Hmm.
and I would highly encourage everybody. And then my last review, which will be by far the most fun
Mm.
because it was awful, is Minecraft movie. I went and saw Minecraft. Now, mind you, just to kind of set the tone for this review, I fell asleep the first time I went to go see it. And it was only 9:30 at night on a Wednesday or a
I'm gonna
Thursday.
I'm gonna
So,
I'm gonna tell you, I started nodding off throughout the film.
oh my gosh.
It's really that boring. I had to slap myself to
Yes.
stay awake. I'm like, stay awake. You're gonna watch this movie. You're gonna like it, type of deal. It's like it like Shaun even started nodding off. Like he even talked about the movie, and he was falling asleep too. And so
Somebody, okay, it's hilarious. Somebody said a Minecraft movie is an 101-minute lobotomy. Put that on the poster. This whole film, it tried to do fan service through scenes like chicken jockey.
well, it was fans.
Um,
The fan service is YouTube fan service. It's not even
yeah,
fan
it's
service of the
bad.
game.
Yeah, it's bad. It's so bad. And
Like
so,
there was one fan service I thought was kind of nice. It was like of a YouTuber who passed away. I think you know who I'm talking about. I forget the YouTuber's name. It was like what was
yes,
it with the pig and the crown one. I thought like okay,
yeah,
it's like that's a nice one. That's like all right, that makes sense to have in there. But the chicken jockey one was stupid. Everything else
yeah, it
like
really was.
Flint
And
Steel was like that was random.
I just really didn't like this. Everybody's gonna hate me. Jack Black and Jason Momoa for this film was just weird. I
Even though
just it
well, even though that they were the best part, they were still weird. So
Yeah, it's like it was entertaining. Um, the CGI was really good, I
yeah.
thought. Like I actually
Well,
visually it was
until you
stunning.
put real humans in it, then it's distracting. Um,
Yeah,
like you could tell that they're on the
yes.
set, but whenever it's just literally just the background, like it's nothing, like nothing there but the background. It's like, ah, that's pretty. Ah, it's Jack Black. Oh,
Well,
uh,
and the whole vice principal storyline
stupid.
weird thing was like it would have been better if it would have been I would have liked it if they took like a Jumanji approach. Honestly, I think
That's
that would
what they
have
were trying
been.
to do. They were trying to do a
Yeah, but
Jumanji.
it wasn't executed like that.
Oh
They
no,
should have just copied and pasted Jumanji and
well
called it
that
Minecraft.
well the problem with the movie is that in this movie's universe, the Minecraft world is not a video game. It's another realm that's in that world. They didn't get
Which is
stuck
even
into
more
it.
confusing.
Yeah, so it's more confusing when they are doing all these building stuff. It's like, okay, if this was a video game, that could make sense, but it's not a video game. That's another realm. You have to actually explain things. And I hate when there's like three different moments in the movie where characters go like they're trying like, how does that work? It's like, don't ask questions. Like, no, that is a legit question. How the fuck does that work? It's like you have to answer these things.
Why are they floating and blowing up? No, I'm just kidding. Um, no, it blows my mind that after all that time and with such a successful, expensive franchise, they came out
Franchise.
with that. I mean, it's a franchise. Think of all the game iterations they've made.
Well, how many? Well, I know two of them. There's like actually there's three. I know three of them. So there's the main game, of course. They actually did a Telltale's Minecraft game, which I played a bit of. And next they did like Minecraft Dungeons. Like it was like,
Well, and they have like all the toys and
eh.
Lego and I think when I think of a
You know, a Minecraft
franchise,
Lego
I think
movie could have been cool. Like that would have been a neat
yeah,
idea.
yeah, because it would have been bricks and blocks.
Yeah, that.
But no, instead we got weird and the whole like to like build stuff. I'm like, what is this crap?
But
It
then
felt like
the story
it's
didn't
just
even
so
make
bad.
any sense either. Like there, for some reason, they have this tension between this brother and sister dynamic, and I'm like, why is this is so random and forced? Even when it's set up at the beginning, it's so random and forced. It doesn't make any sense. And this kid is getting bullied for no reason. And
Yeah,
and he's like, I don't fit in this world. And everyone doesn't like him for some reason because his rocket that he made failed. And I'm like, even just making it fly for 10 seconds would make him the coolest kid in school. So I don't
yeah.
know. That doesn't make any
The
sense to
whole
me.
thing was strange. I'm sorry, it was not good. And I read the reviews. Oh, the reviews are so bad. I love reading them. But overarchingly, if you like Minecraft, you probably don't want to see this
Play the
movie.
game. It's free.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Well, it's not
And
free,
just
but it's been out for like
listen to
20
Jack
years.
Black music or something. I don't know. If you want to watch just Jack Black or something, go watch Nacho
It was
Libre.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like it's a musical for like 3 minutes of the film out of nowhere. Like there's a musical
I was
bit
like,
at the beginning,
I
there's a
just
musical bit in the middle, and next there's a musical bit towards the end. It's like this movie just like it's like the most random brain rot that I've ever seen.
yeah. And then my favorite was like all the uh when he gets blasted back by the creeper. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
I just
Like
don't understand.
like the first maybe 10 seconds that they were put into the world, like when the actual main cast come into the world, I think this is kind of interesting where like it goes dark and they're getting attacked by creepers. I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun. If it's
Yeah.
gonna stay like this could be okay, but then it goes into ridiculous. The only thing that actually made me chuckle was when when Jason Momoa was freaking about his car not working. That was the only thing that was funny because of
Oh,
Jason Momoa's overacting.
I liked when the car hit the villager. It
Stupid.
was so stupid. It was funny. I thought it was good. For that, I gave the movie plus one. So I would probably give it a 4.5 out of 10.
F. I don't think I give it an F. I think I give it like a D minus. Um,
I mean, 4.5 out of 10 is pretty close.
yeah.
So
Um,
I just, they could have done so much better. I think that's why I gave it such a low score. It wasn't that it was like, it just could have been so much better. I'm
well,
sorry.
it's the
It
problem
really
is
did.
it's not funny. That's the main movie's goal is to be entertaining and funny. It's just not. It's the
Yeah.
most random ass shit that it's a scene stitched together, and it's like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It seems like they had a bunch of SNL skits and stitched them together. They're like, this would be funny.
Yeah, but
But
SNL's
but
not
but
funny.
they took
So
the worst jokes from SNL and put it in a movie. There's
yeah,
a couple of funny SNL skits. All right, don't
every
be
so often there are. The nightly news one is pretty funny.
with
So
Scarlett Johansson's husband.
Yeah, is it Colin Jost or something? Colin something.
Something on those lines. Yeah,
I have it
those are
wrong,
pretty
but
funny.
yeah.
Um,
Yep, those are my reviews. Two movies I would watch, so I call them 2C,
and if you want to
2C for
get,
you, and
yeah,
one not 2C.
if you want to lose brain cells, go watch Minecraft. Oh, yeah,
Actually, in order to get ready for that movie, you should watch Dora the Explorer, then the
you know, we
355,
we should have like a
followed.
marathon, like a double night feature where you watch Dora the Explorer and Minecraft back to back.
Wow, oh my goodness. And then I can watch 355 and other movies
Well,
in the
see
middle.
the thing is you have to watch 355 last because it would just put you to sleep.
What about what about the killer Winnie the Pooh movie? I forgot to add those in there.
Those, those are movies for bad kids who think they're about to watch a Disney film, but then you turn on a horror film that is just with their Disney
That's
characters.
terrible. Terrible, terrible. Well,
No better
let me know
way
your
to,
guys' thoughts.
yeah, let
I
us
want
know.
to know everybody's thoughts. Drop your thoughts. If you disagree with me, great. If you think I'm smart, awesome. If you really don't like me, just blame Austin. So
Well, I did make you talk about it, so there's that.
you did, you did.
Um, what I say goes. By the way, guys, I proof say all of this, so he actually has to say bad things about Minecraft. He actually really enjoys it, but he's not allowed to say
Nope. Austin paid
it.
me $1,000. I still am waiting to get paid.
Next year. Moving
Okay.
on to this next topic. Ryan Gosling confirmed to be in Star Wars and
Why?
Sean to star in Shaun Levy's Star Wars Starfighter. That is coming out in May 28th, 2027. Which is in 2 years.
Why?
Which,
Why?
I mean, he's a big name actor. I mean, like he'll bring in people, I guess. And what's interesting about this movie is that it takes 5 years after Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker?
Here's
Yay.
the thing is I like about the movie. It seems like it's not going to have any form of connections with those films, which I don't like. So
Which
that's
is random. Why not make a movie like Sloan Commandos, or I don't know, something people want to see. I just it sounds really
maybe just
mean.
reboot the sequels and try again. It's
I- It sounds mean, and I'm just gonna say it. I do not like Ryan Gosling, and I just don't see the reason for this movie. Um,
well, we don't know really much about the movie. I think
I've
he's
had
put
enough of him. Enough of him.
I don't know.
I just I don't. This is what we're spending our money on, is putting
Well,
Ryan Gosling in a Star Wars movie 5 years after one of the worst movies on the planet came out.
I mean, it's we need to get away from this era of just putting everything between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope anyway. So at least it's moving the universe forward in a way. Um,
Yeah. I'd rather they said somehow Yoda returned and brought you.
and next they make Yoda evil.
Oh gosh, yeah, they could do it like the evil Winnie the Pooh movie, make it evil Yoda, and he comes back and force kills everybody. It would be great. Like he go. Oh, okay. Listen to this. Okay, Yoda haunts the Jedi Temple. Okay, the new Jedi Temple, and kills all the younglings.
He's the reason why Luke's Padawans died. Oh, that makes sense. Not it wasn't Palpatine. Palpatine was trying to save him, and he was actually the good guy. See, Palpatine was
Yeah,
just misunderstood the whole entire time,
he was.
and
He
Yoda was just
Anakin
mentally
was.
ill.
Yes, thank you. What if they came out and said all of this was Jar Jar's dream, and he woke up and it's like Inception?
Oh
That'd be
no.
so funny. Wow,
But
I'm really good at writing. Hire me, Disney. I'll do a worser job than Kathleen Kennedy.
but this would be the first actual Star Wars movie that we would have since 2019. It's going to be almost 10 years since we've actually had a Star Wars movie. We're not counting the Mandalorian movie. That fuck off.
I just,
Um,
that's just a continuation of the TV show,
yeah, it's just
which
like
we already know they make long ones because look at
I
Andor.
wouldn't be shocked if the movie opens up previously. Oh, the Mandalorian season 1 through 3, and next they just do a quick.
Season 1 through 3.5.
Oh, season yes. That's true. It wasn't even a full season three. It was literally like, so technically previously on Mandalorian season one, two, and Book of Boba Fett, and next Mandalorian season three. Um, so
So bad. Just, I'm sorry. I don't want to be a negative Nancy because I don't want everybody to say that all Star Wars fans are negative, whatever. I just, I do not get it. And the director even said, I want something fun and fresh. The last time they tried to do fun and fresh with Star Wars, we got, we got, they fly now, they fly now. And somehow Palpatine returned. And you're like, what is happening? I think my
somehow
favorite
Ray
video
is.
is the
That's what should
the
be the
they
title.
fly
That should
now.
be the tagline for the next Ray movie. Somehow Ray has returned when the fans don't want her.
uh, I just if they did a movie like Ray getting killed, I feel bad
You
for
know
Daisy Ridley
they
because
should
she's
do
not bad.
they should Alien 3 her. They should open the movie with her getting killed, and next the rest of the movie just follows new characters. Maybe that's what will
Oh,
happen in the Ryan Gosling movie. It's like the movie will
if
open up.
that if that happened, I will literally go pay Ryan Gosling myself. I would go see it a million times.
Please do that. Actually, I would like that. I don't want to hate on Daisy Ridley. I try to separate my.
Well, it wasn't even her fault.
Well,
It's
no,
she's
with
not
the
even the
stuff that happened
problem.
with Star Wars isn't her fault, but she has a lot of PR problems that I have problems with. Um, I don't know if that's Disney or if that's her, but um,
Well, this leads into this leads into our next topic really
so
well
yeah, but I mean, like, let's we'll wrap it up real quick with this topic then. Um, what do
because I
you
have a lot to say about this next one. Let me tell you.
what do you think? Like, do you think what do you think we could expect from this Shaun Levy movie? Like, do you think we'll
It,
expect the quality of like Deadpool, Wolverine? And it's also called Starfighter, so it could possibly have that combination of the what's the director of Wonder Woman who made that terrible sequel?
no,
Um,
you're asking the wrong
I
person. I'm
forget her
bad with
name.
names.
I'll have to
Yes, yes.
I'll look her up real quick. Um, but like it could be like a combination of that film because she was supposed to have a film about starfighters and and that ended up being canceled.
So my thought process is it's gonna
Patty
be it's
Jenkins, that's her name.
oh yes, oh Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
It's 5 years after, um why am I having The Last Jedi, right?
Mhm.
So
Rise of Skywalker. Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me. It's 5 years after Rise of Skywalker. So you're thinking that the universe is probably destabilized again because you have to remember it was Imperial
So
rule
they had peace for
or
5 years. So somehow they
First
had
Order.
even less peace. So
Well, I mean, think about anything. Andor brings it up really well. When vacuums of power kind of disappear, other people, like bad people, take over. And so, my thought process is it's probably going to be like a Wild West type film where it's like a
probably
starfighter
he's
and
probably
he's
gonna be
like
a Jedi too.
doing justice, or
Yeah.
whatever. Um, I don't know. That's what I see because
But it's just
anytime I see Starfighter,
yeah, but the problem, so if it involves any new big threats, like really there was only been telling me that Rey was supposed to bring even more peace, and she did an even terrible job than Anakin Skywalker bringing that peace. Peace only lasts for 5 years.
she was so good. She just she could force heal people too. My favorite.
I would just take a movie at this point about the Force ghosts. Just have a whole since they can interact with objects. And you're afraid of killing off characters anyways. They're already dead and they're Force ghosts. You can't really kill them. So it's like,
Agreed.
why not?
Evil Yoda. I'm telling you, everybody, Evil Yoda's a thing. So no,
Confirmed.
I think it's gonna be a Wild West film
That
where he goes around being like the hero and something bad's happening, like maybe it's a a rowdy bunch. I don't know. Or maybe it's like space pirates or
we
I'm
got
trying
that
to think of
with Skeleton
like the
Crew.
Black Sun almost. Excuse me. I'm having everybody. I'm struggling with this, but like you think of one of the basically pirate crews or I don't know anything like that. Um, and then you think, oh, he's going to come in and try and save some innocent people by use of a starfighter and fight against the possible odds and end up being the hero and blah blah blah. Probably
Yeah.
something along those lines. So, but
Well, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. It comes out on Memorial Day, which is an interesting day for a Star Wars film. Usually it comes out on
yeah,
like in December. Like that's usually the Star Wars when those movies come
which is
out.
weird to me, but I wonder if they're backfilling for Marvel. Just kidding, jokes. Um,
Well, what
no.
does
Oh,
Adventure Secret Wars comes out 2027, so that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's a
Um
weird time for them to come out next to each other like that. So,
yeah, we'll have to see what happens with the film. I don't hate Ryan Gosling. He can be overused. It's just that his acting really started shining in like something like Barbie or Free Guy. I was never really a big fan of him before then. Like, in like, Blade Runner. I thought his performance in Blade Runner was just very generic and boring. Um it's just that's the mid of the book. Oh, so that's the bit of his character. Well, yeah, because that's the point. Doesn't mean I like it.
I
So
agree. Yes, that's why I'm not a huge fan of his. No offense to him.
so
So he's just not my flavor.
yeah. Let
But
us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. You know who else isn't our flavor?
Kathleen Kennedy,
Yeah.
goodbye.
Goodbye.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
See, people try to tell us like that her leaving is false. It's not true. Well, more reports are coming out that she's leaving this August. I hope it's true. I love ruining someone's career.
That's terrible. I mean, one, she ruined Star Wars for long enough. Two,
Sean's yelling at me in the comment section right now. It's like, ah,
is he a Kathleen Kennedy
he
fan?
he, I go, I have like the angel and the devil on my shoulder when it comes to Kathleen Kennedy. Like, I give her credit when it's well deserved, but I also give her the finger when it's also well deserved. So, um,
Um, well, here's the thing. I just think the idea, we don't know the dynamic, right? But
yeah.
it just stinks that Star Wars precipitated and turned into the thing that it did, all while
Well,
under her watch.
yeah, she allowed it. She allowed the fan base to become what it is now, for one. And she tells people to go out and say these stupid, ridiculous things. I've been always a fan of what's his name that played Finn. Well, God, I'm blanking on actors' names when it's ever important. I have to look, but like he started coming out like because his character that played Finn, John Boyega, that's his name. Like he got screwed over in the sequel trilogy so bad. Like I really liked his character, and I wish that they did more with him.
Uh,
And yet he
I was
came out.
so brutal that they did that.
Mhm. And yet he came out blaming the fans lately in an article that came out like a few weeks ago. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? We were on your side and now you're blaming us for your bad character. Go talk to the people that freaking hired you for one.
Well,
Um,
and that's the sad thing is I actually thought if he would have turned out to be the Jedi, it would have been so much better. It really would have.
I feel like maybe he was originally supposed to be the Jedi. And I think Disney got scared because and they made it Rey.
Yeah.
Like they're because nothing like I don't hate Ray or anything. I just don't like her either. Like she's just
No,
not.
she doesn't sell it for you. And the script, oh, the terrible script, my goodness, is so bad.
Yeah, Kylo Ren was the best thing about the whole entire sequels. He's the only one that actually got a full arc. But yeah, Kathleen Kennedy in charge of Lucasfilm hasn't been great anyways. Um, even she like even with that other stuff outside of Star Wars, like Indiana Jones, which wasn't a disaster, but it was also disappointing as well with that film.
Yeah,
Um, and
I was
again,
disappointed.
we haven't seen Star Wars on the big screen for what? Has it
I'd
been
rather
like
not see it
eight?
on the big scene than see crap especially when we can just rewatch Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Well, nothing more will be a bombshell than how they've messed up Kenobi. Kenobi's like was kind of like the final straw for me. A lot of people
Yeah.
say it's the Acolyte. I was already kind of done with Star Wars before the Acolyte came out. Kenobi was the thing that I'm like, all right, screw you. Like, how do you mess up
See,
some?
I watch him anyway. I like Andor though, I will say. So
I enjoyed the first season of Andor. Season two, it's okay. It's a little rough start. You know who else is not liking Andor season two? Star Wars Theory. You know, you know,
really?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I haven't really know about his full thoughts, but he's in a little bit of a controversy right now with like the essay situation of of the third episode, the sexual assault scene.
Oh, okay.
Um, like he
Interesting.
didn't like that part, which I don't think they gone too far with it. I thought they did it fine, but it was kind of
I
random.
thought I thought they were trying to bring, I mean, you're talking about an empire where people are corrupt and do that stuff on purpose. To to not think
Well,
that that would have been a common
his
practice in the
his
Star Wars universe is bad, is
yeah.
just
Well, his point is that Darth Vader and Palpatine would not allow that, even though they're evil people. I like that's his point.
what?
I'm not too sure about his point either. But I can agree that maybe it was random, like because it was kind of just random. Like this random Imperial just came out of nowhere. It's like, hey, I'm gonna start hitting on you.
Here, so here's the thing. The whole point of Andor is revealing the political nature and
No, yeah.
badness of people. I
The
mean,
only
really.
the only thing I did not like was the rich people stuff. I hated it. I hated most of that.
See, but that shows you how literally disconnected they are from everything else happening around them.
No, I just found it it found it slow. I just really that
Oh,
really
okay.
halt the episode. Sorry. I should have been more proper wording with that. But but
Mm.
I don't think it's terrible or anything. I think after some point when we got the information that we needed, they should have they should have cut away permanently, but they kept cutting away between action sequences, breaking up the scenes and breaking up the pace. And I'm like, all right, now I'm getting annoyed because I constantly had to turn up the volume or turn it down because either there'd be a big explosion or there'd been dialogue that's so quiet that I couldn't hear anything, so I had to turn it up. So I got annoyed on
Um,
that aspect. Um,
no, that
next time
makes
I'll
sense.
just watch it with headphones, so then I can't get annoyed. But so, um, but yeah, Kathleen
Hmm.
Kennedy, like she had a good run for most of her career, but she's just a terrible head leader. She's just terrible.
Yeah, I just think the Star Wars projects she allowed to happen just don't make sense. And
They
it's incoherent and it's led to some really bad TV shows.
yeah.
So,
They should let her run the Halo. She should be the showrunner on that show. Just go over there.
well, she's probably never played it, so she's perfect to
Yeah,
run it.
perfect for that. You know,
Oh my goodness.
put it on Netflix.
Yeah,
No one watches Netflix. So, I mean, take this with a grain of salt. So, if you guys believe this to be true, I think it's true because it's about it's getting to that point where I think she needs to step down because it's also the responsible thing to do. It's just like
sure.
either you step down or you ram the ship into the ground when and actually you don't make money for anyone. So, which is already getting
Running
to
into
that
the
point.
ground. Just kidding.
Yeah, Captain goes down with the ship. Well, it should have been George Lucas. But moving on to better things, Predator Badlands trailer. You know,
I was impressed.
yeah, I don't think it has me hooked at the moment like Prey did. I enjoyed Prey a lot.
I did
Which
too.
is it's the same director that's also coming back for that one. The only thing that actually stuck out to me, oh, because like I think the animation Prey movie that's coming out on Hulu has me more interested in this film at the moment. It just looks awesome for especially a streaming
I
animated
thought so
movie.
too.
Um, the only
I
thing that
like
has
that the Predator's the main character.
is that the point of the film? Is like it's from his perspective?
That's that's what I think when I was watching
I
it.
think it's going to be from the point of view of this android, which you see for a split second in the trailer, where it goes through the white eyes. That's
Yeah,
supposed to be a Watani droid, which I'm like, oh, okay, so they're going to connect Alien and Predator once again into this universe. That's cool, cool. We're going to get Aliens versus Predator. Hopefully then. That would be really cool. And who knows? This could be the planet that at the end of Alien Romulus that Rain was going to go to.
Oh,
That could be
I
interesting.
like I like this. No, I think I was really impressed. And you know me, I'm usually not the biggest fan of this franchise just because there's so many. I'm like, I actually go, ooh, I want to see this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where they go with it. It's supposed to be rated R, right? It's not going to be PG-13, is it?
I don't
Predator.
think did they say? It's probably rating pending.
It's probably not rated yet. I don't
This
see
film is not yet rated. Yep.
most likely it's going to be rated R. Hopefully. And if it's in the same level as Prey, then it should be good. Hunt Last Chance. I don't know what that means, but we'll have to wait in to see a little bit more about it. But the Wayne Autonomy android being in the film got me really interested to see how they connect this to the Alien universe. And it just sucks that we never got a true sequel with Arnold. I think that's the only thing that's disappointing about the Predator films is that we never got a true sequel with Arnold. And the only kind of sequel that you got was in that terrible Predator game where it's just voiceover work and it's like you listen to like these
Who doesn't love
tapes.
voiceover work?
Well, only actors because they get paid, but we audiences get disappointed because we don't actually
Oh my
see
goodness.
the thing. So I
I
don't know.
I would say based on the trailer that I watched, I know we don't rate trailers, but I would probably give it a solid 8 out of 10. I actually I liked it. I thought it was entertaining. Sound wise, it was good. Visually, very cool. Some of the light work with like the weapons was pretty neat. So I'm excited. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with it when we get in our trailer. Let us know. So let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. So moving on to a couple of Oscar things.
Oh
So
gosh, this
Oscars have set a new. This is stupid. Why is this
I
now being? So Oscars set a new rule requiring voters to see all movies in a category before voting. So hasn't this not been a thing?
well, it makes sense as to why some of those movies got nominated in the first
Yeah.
place because nobody ever saw them.
Like Amelia Perez. It's like, yeah, we should vote for Amelia Perez. I never actually watched it, but we should vote for it.
I think they just, I think they throw darts at a
I
dartboard.
f Yeah, I feel like more critics actually seen majority of the films that come out in theaters than the actual people that vote. And that's why we get these weird vote films. And it's like, because last year. I don't think again, the film that won Best Picture, I don't have a big issue with the film. I just don't think it was that big. I don't think it deserves Best Picture.
Yeah.
And so it's just like films like that, I don't think like I feel like there's other films that deserve the cheap metal award.
So I was looking to see if I could find like the biggest ever Oscar snubs. Um,
Top Gun Maverick.
uh, oh yeah, no, one of the biggest ones is Shakespeare in Love won against Saving Private Ryan.
Wait, Saving Private Ryan didn't win Best Picture?
No,
What the what did
yeah,
what win that one? What won?
the romantic dramedy Shakespeare in Love from John Madden pulled off a major upset that brought along a shocking win for Judi Dench for only 8 minutes of screen time. 8 minutes of screen time, and she won. And then,
No.
yes, and then Crash. Um, la, la, la. Let's see, Defeat. Yeah, so it's just some of those things where you're like, and that was stupid.
Mhm.
So
Well, does this mean that we'll see a big drastic difference in how
results, who
results?
knows? I don't know. I mean, the fact that I mean, how did they pick? So, I mean, if you think about it, Pulp Fiction and Shawshank Redemption lost to Forrest Gump too.
I actually never seen Forrest Gump.
I think it's a good movie, but I don't think it's better than those two movies.
Mm. I've seen clips and I've of course seen the chocolate scene, but I've never actually sat through that film. Um,
Yeah,
which is shocking because I like Tom Hanks. I think one of my favorite I think my probably my favorite Tom Hanks film is probably going to be Castaway. I think that's probably
that's
his best.
interesting. Saving Private Ryan is my favorite Tom Hanks movie.
Oh yeah, he is in that too, yeah. Um, but I don't know. We'll have to see what this does. It's something interesting to bring up and talk about. Like is seriously, this isn't a thing that has always
Yeah,
been the case. It's like so that means you had someone in the background. It's like, so Jerry, what do you think? What should we vote on? And he's just there eating his lunch. He's like,
yeah. You're like,
uh, Emilio Perez. Oh, okay. Do you know anything about the movie? Um, a
apparently.
musical. It's like, good job, Jerry. All right. So I don't know. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below
I'm
on
looking to
this.
see if I could. I was looking to see if I could find any of the big upsets, but it makes sense when they're stupid.
Well, yeah. If Transformers is not winning every single Best Picture, then yeah, it's rigged. Um, no, those movies suck. Besides the first one. Um,
Yes. Oh my goodness.
but we still got a couple more Oscar talks. Now this is something that people have been asking for a very, very long time, is that they're now officially adding stunts as a category in 2028. And so some people are
Which is crazy to me.
wondering how like wait, why is it going to take 3 years to add it to the categories? It's well, for one, they're going to need to figure out how the category is going to work. And one thing that these articles dive into is that it's going to be about stunt design, so not the actual stunt person themselves, because it would be kind of weird to like encourage people to go out risk their life to win an
Yeah,
award. And it's like, and if someone does win an award and they end up dying because of that award, it's like, how can
that's kind
you
of crazy.
like
Yeah.
you would have some form of lawsuits going on. So it makes more sense to the designs. I just find it funny after Tom Cruise's last Mission Impossible movie is coming out that they decided to do this. I feel like that's the biggest snub of all time is him not as his team not getting awards for all their crazy stunts. So I don't know. What do you think about this? And like how
So
and
here's
how they could handle this?
so first off, I think adding a category for, I mean, they had makeup, they had costume design, they have all those things. So adding a stunts category just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Now, as to how they determine the stunts, do you do it based off of difficulty? Do you do it based off of like what it adds to the film?
Well, yeah.
I'm curious.
Uh, like that's another thing. It's like it's one thing for other like it's one thing for like trying to give an award to an actor. Because like when you watch the movie, you look at the actors like that's a good performance. He deserves an award.
Yeah,
But when you look at stunts, you have to be there on set to really know if that stunt deserves an award. It's
yeah.
so because like unlike because like a lot of people another person used this as an example for Free Guy. You didn't when you're watching the movie like, oh man, that's really cool. I'm very curious how they did that stunt. You don't really know how they did the stunt until you watch the credits where they showed all the
Yeah,
stunts.
to
And
get like a
so
better understanding.
so yeah, it's like if now the requirement from now on, if like be to enter for winning a stunt award, is that you have to at the end of your credits add a segment of your footage of stunts, how you did it, or do you have to have someone come onto set to watch
Well, you
it?
know what's going to happen. You know who's going to win this category, right?
Not Tom Cruise because he's done.
I knew. I was thinking Tom Cruise. I just
Well, yeah, but he's not. But he's not anymore because he's done. unless he's
Yeah,
gonna
but this
get
guy,
nominated.
Tom Cruise, would have won like every year. That guy does some crazy cool things.
Well, no, that's the thing. If they truly were doing like stunt categories before these last Mission Impossible films, he would have won every single one.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but I mean, he has Thunder 2 coming out, like the Thunder racing film that he's doing.
Aren't they doing another Edge of Tomorrow film or something too?
Supposedly, I think Emma Stone wants to do it, but it's just scheduling issues, I think.
Wait,
She's
Emma Stone.
not Emma Stone, sorry, Emily Blunt.
Oh,
Um,
I was like, what?
I was
I'm
thinking of
like,
a I was
is
I
she
don't
in that movie now?
I don't think Emma Stone and Tom Cruise ever been in a movie together. So I don't know why I
No,
said Emma
I'm
Stone.
glad. That would be a weird movie. I don't know why.
It would be her as a teacher and him as or her as a student and him as a teacher, because I guess that's where she came from. It was like, those
Ooh,
high school
if
dramas.
they want, they could do like a dramedy
She can be a
history.
he can be a stunt teacher and she can be a stunt student. There you go. There's your movie.
That would be weird. I was thinking they could do like the cruise ship that crashed into a rock because you have
Titanic?
Tom Cruise and Emma Stone. Get it?
Are are
Ah.
you talking about Titanic?
No, that was an iceberg.
Oh.
There was one off of the coast of, I think it was Italy, and the cruise boat guy went to say goodbye to his family and hit a coral reef or something.
That's pretty normal. That's like everyday stuff.
Yeah, they could do like, but get it? Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
Emma Stone. It would be perfect.
And he plays
It
the
would be good.
cruise and she plays the stone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, now you're tracking.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
But
Kathleen Kennedy, I can replace you. Hire me. I have great ideas.
yeah, have her produce the film. It would look great. Um, but yeah, I mean, like it's a nice category to have now. It's just curious to see how they do it.
Well, and
And
I like to give credit to where credit's due. They do a lot of work. So,
oh yeah, it's like there's a lot of safety protocols that have to go into it. Unless you
oh,
work on it,
100.
unless you work on a Tom Cruise film, and if you tell Tom Cruise no, you get fired. Apparently, um,
Fire
did
me, sue me, Tom Cruise. Just kidding.
have you
No,
heard of that story where Tom Cruise, like a stunt, like a safety guy, tried to tell Tom Cruise about because it came to like the tallest building in the world, and for Mission Impossible
I think it's
4,
Burj Khalifa.
yeah, for Ghost Protocol, and like and safety, and like it was like I think it was probably the jump stunt they were probably talking about where he had to jump from the other side of the building into the window, um, and so the safety guy is like, no, you can't do that, and Tom Cruise says, okay. And because it was like a story that he told to Matt Damon, which is funny. And next he goes like, and so he got another safety guy. So it's like I guess if you tell Tom Cruise no, you gotta kind of get
Oh my
fired.
goodness, that's
Um,
crazy.
I mean, hey, the dude wants to go to space. He wants to film a movie in space.
Oh gosh.
That's an automatic win right there.
Uh,
Um,
he could be in the Star Wars movie with what's his face?
oh yeah, because they'll do Star Wars for real. They'll go to Mars if they
I know. That's perfect. They can take Elon with them.
yeah
It'll be a whole crew.
take
The
take Kennedy up there, but leave her behind. Be like, oh no, we don't know where she went. It's like,
well, if we're taking people out there to drop off, they might as well take up
take
what's his name with them too.
uh
Um oh crap.
Jonathan Majors.
No, that would be funny though. I'll think about it. I'll tell you later.
So,
So
but yeah, but let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below on how
drop
you
the
think they'll
comments.
handle the situation. I think it's an interesting idea. Moving on to this, so more kind of political, I guess, talks. So China is now going to
Oh,
be limiting
politics.
amount of American films coming to their country. And the reason why I this is a topic because it involves the movie industry. It's a very interesting um it's interesting on how much this would really affect anything when it comes to American films going to China. And I think people are being a little bit too dramatic because China already
Yeah.
limited us on how many films go into their country anyways. And so, because things like reports came out about like, oh, how they're still going to be showing Thunderbolts. Of course they're going to
Yeah.
still show Thunderbolts.
Well, I mean, they're gonna show big ones, but I mean,
But
you
like
have to remember
now, if
it's
people
meant to
want to,
punish the US.
well,
So
yeah, but if people are going to make a point of like, well, it's going to hurt indie films. Yeah, I guess, but indie films already didn't get credit in there anyways. And when China puts out
yeah,
numbers about their box office, they lie about it. They actually been caught lying about box office numbers there. So it's like,
interesting.
um,
Well, and that's the unfortunate thing is it's like any extra dollar helps for films, but
for sure.
I think there's it's a
But
nuance,
But
right?
it will
So
hurt
it just
their
sucks
economy. If anything, it will really hurt their economy more than our economy. Because like they bid it, they do because they're the ones bidding off of the money there, not really us, but
for.
whatever. So it's an
I'd have to
interesting,
I'd have to look at the economics of what we do, but I know Hollywood is obviously more s- centered, obviously, in the US, right? And
yeah.
so a vast majority of films I would envision get predominantly done in the United States, which more or less hurts us.
Well, yeah, and
So
because I think the money I think China was I think the reason why people are a little bit worried is because China is like I think our the third biggest grossing box office, I think, when it comes to when it makes a lot of money when it for films. But again, they limit films anyways. Like
for sure,
they'll let in all the Marvel films, but they also even the films that they do let in, they censor anyways too. So it's like
oh, 100%.
they're not even getting the films that we see anyways. So because like, I guess since we talked about Star Wars, if you look at the difference between the Force Awakens poster of the American version and the Chinese version, Finn is a lot bigger on our poster than their poster
Yeah.
because they are very, I don't know if racist is the right word to use, but I don't know what the word you would really use.
Well, they
Um,
definitely minimize cultures of other
People.
people.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
like it's people want to like, oh, China's like the 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 pressures, and it's like, really? They're the ones that are very
Evil. They're evil. No, I'm just kidding. So
I'm pretty sure the people that live in China are great. It's their government there is I'm not
I
gonna
mean
get
that's most places, unfortunately. So
yeah, we have problems here too. I'm not denying that, but people want to act like the US is the enemy for some weird reason.
enemy of the moon, if the moon had oil, we would be there in no
We
time.
we would be there in no time. But so yeah, it is something. What do you think would come out of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's difficult because obviously I am not an expert on global politics. I'm also not an expert on how the movie
I'm not
industry,
either.
excuse me, is directly impacted.
I just read on what I see. And so,
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt that it's going to cause an impact. I would hope that it wouldn't negatively impact actors, actresses, you know, cinematographers, producers, directors, writers, and all the people that go along with making a movie. I hope it doesn't impact smaller movies, but you never know. It's just one of those things where we can't actively predict what will it actually do. We just have to unfortunately wait to see how it unfolds. So,
yeah.
but
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, that's pretty much everything. Not, I mean, like still kind of a lot of stuff to talk about, but majority of the episode would probably is going to get taken over some of this exclusive footage stuff. But I did want to try to keep this minimum because,
which I was excited for with the exclusive stuff. I think people will
yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy those parts. And hopefully, and I didn't want this one to be over like an hour, over 3 hours again. Not only like the last month episode was 3 hours, the exclusive episode was like 3.5 hours long. So it's like that's
Not
six
my
hours.
fault. I just was talking.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, hey, that a lot of stuff came out of CinemaCon, so it's like it was bound. That's the reason why we did the exclusive episode because it's like there's too much stuff to talk about that it would not be a it wouldn't be smart to talk about this time around in for the monthly
Sure.
podcast. So it makes more sense to talk about it right away since the news came out and in its own episode. So it was a ton
Yeah.
of fun. So hopefully you guys go check out the full episode. I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure to go check out Shaun as well on his channel. Um, but yeah, anything else you want to bring up before we?
No, I just think when you go to see movies and support local, um, support local theaters, support your artists, and continue to advocate and um, press Star Wars to make changes.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are my three things.
I mean, like, go watch Revenge of the Sith. Make that a buttload of money, and that will show Disney like where to put their money worth than other stuff.
Animation remake from the live action.
Ah, yeah. So we should start over and recast everyone. You know what they should do is they animate the movies, but they get the voice actors from the Clone Wars to voice act the characters.
Perfect. Perfect.
You know,
I'm in.
I'll be happy with that.
Me too.
Um, but so yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like always, we'll see you guys in the next monthly episode. Bye, guys.
Peace.